Science tells us that everything in the universe, from stars and galaxies to atoms and thoughts, is made of energy. At the deepest level, it all comes from one invisible force. Physicists call it the unified field, a single source behind gravity, light, time, and matter. You could think of it as the operating system of the cosmos. And one man spent the final years of his life trying to find it, Albert Einstein. After giving the world relativity, changing how we understand space and time, Einstein wasn't done. He believed there was still one deeper truth hiding beneath the equations, a theory that could unify all forces of nature. He called it the unified field theory, and he chased it with all his genius. But here's the twist. Despite decades of work, Einstein couldn't complete it. Why? Because quantum mechanics, the strange, unpredictable behavior of tiny particles, refused to fit inside a tidy equation. It was like trying to paint a rainbow with just one color. He once said, "God does not play dice with the universe." But quantum physics seemed to suggest otherwise. And while science struggled to make sense of it, ancient traditions already had a different approach. In India, and in the mythical land of Shambhala, sages weren't solving equations, they were exploring consciousness. And what they found sounded a lot like what science was missing. Through meditation, they discovered something modern physics now calls superposition, the idea that things can exist in multiple states at once until we observe them. They also understood the observer effect, that how we look at something changes what we see. These yogis weren't just sitting in silence, they were tuning their awareness to the deepest layer of reality. They realized that consciousness is not just a side effect of the brain, it's woven into the fabric of the universe. They called this field Brahman, infinite, eternal, intelligent. In Shambhala, it said they lived in harmony with this field, not through control, but through alignment. They trained the mind to become clear, focused, still, so they could feel the living connection between all things, body, energy, thought, space. The Bhagavad Gita says, "He who sees the self in all beings, and all beings in the self, that person has truly seen." And maybe that's the part Einstein was missing. Not just a mathematical answer, but a human one. That this unified field doesn't just explain reality. It includes us. You're not just living in the universe. You are part of the field that shapes it. And with every thought, every intention, every act of awareness, you are helping reality take form. That's the real unified field. And it's not just out there in space. It's within you right now. In quantum field theory, what we call a particle, like an electron, photon, or quark, isn't a tiny, solid object. It's a ripple of a localized vibration in a deeper, invisible field. Imagine a calm lake. Throw in a stone and ripples form. Now imagine space itself as a vast field. A particle is like a stone's ripple, a quantized disturbance in that field. Vedic philosophy also points toward this concept. A new atom is not merely physical, but pervaded by consciousness. Brahman, the cosmic field of awareness, expresses itself as namarupa, name and form, i.e., particles and atoms. In this view, atoms are localized manifestations of the one field of consciousness, much like particles are ripples in